Moving carpets in the city, there is only one. Michael Gulachok, everybody, come on!
Thank you, Troy, for that abbreviated but gracious introduction. As you said, my name is Mike Gulachok. Gulachok is a Ukrainian name, and it roughly translates as debauched dancer. You know, some people would like to see a gluten-free world. I personally would like to see a Putin-free world. Now, I'm going to tell you my life story in 8 minutes or less. They're saying 5 minutes, I'm saying 8. 80% of it is true, and I hope 100% is funny, so let's go. There are a couple of origin stories on my life. The first one is, I was told that I was the world's only living abortion. I was a coat hanger in my mother's eyes. But somehow, I climbed out of the gutter and I stand before you today. Now, the second origin story is a little bit closer to the truth. I was brought up by a family of woodchucks along a river in upstate New York. They found me floating in a basket. It turned out that I was the illegitimate love child of Frank Sinatra and Marilyn Monroe. Hence a predilection for booze, broads, and barbiturates. In elementary school, they changed my name to Gulachok because you know how cruel children can be. Here comes Woodchuck, let's beat him up. You know, they didn't want that happening, so they changed my name. In my early life, one of my aspirations was to own a pickle plantation. It was my aspiration to grow, process, and distribute my own brand of pickles, which would be called Poops Pickles. You know, with a name like Poops, it's got to be good. I'm an alumnus of the Woodstock Festival. 3 days of peace, love, and music. Actually, I had press credentials at Woodstock. You know, I don't remember doing any drugs at Woodstock, but then again, there are a lot of things I don't remember. The US government offered me a full scholarship to the University of Vietnam. I declined. You know, I took the aptitude exam 3 times and failed it 3 times. And they're saying to me, you know, it says here you are attending a prestigious university, but you can't pass our test. Go figure. I finally got a 4F, which is a medical deferment. Can anyone guess what my diagnosis was? No. I was crazy. Here, I'm drawing a blank here. Let me see where I am. Okay. Is everyone familiar with the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Joan Jett? Well, I shouldn't kiss and tell, but Joni and I were once an item. She was touring through my area recently, so I sent her an email. I thought, you know, we could get together, reminisce, have lunch, you know, whatever. And in the email, I wrote, Joni, if you and Carmen Electra were best friends, could I come between you? And she didn't respond. You know the Joan Jett song, I Hate Myself for Loving You? She wrote that about me. You know, Joni wasn't much of a wrestler, but you ought to see her box. Do we have any animal lovers in the crowd? Dogs, cats, horses, iguanas, rabbits, whatever. I have an English short-haired cat. He's 16 years old. and he came from the gutter. And he's literally living in a virtual penthouse now. Can anyone guess who, about 2 months ago, the oldest cat died. Can anyone tell me who that was? The world's oldest cat. Chuck Berry. My last dog was a black lab. She died 14 years ago, and I haven't been able to replace her. God bless her soul. Her name was Missy, and she reminded me of an old girlfriend for 3 reasons. 1, she had black hair. 2, she was pleasantly plump. And 3, she liked to have her chest rubbed. Okay. Being a member of the Silver Tsunami, okay, think about that, Silver Tsunami. It creates a lot of opportunities. For instance, I'm currently negotiating with Gulachok and Lazy Boy Furniture on promotional deals. The Travel Channel has just green-lighted me for hosting the new season of Booze Traveler. Can anyone guess the average age of my contemporaries? Deceased. Anyway, women of a certain age find me irresistible. Usually they're afflicted with macular degeneration and mild dementia. I met my wife here in New York in a blackout. New York wasn't having an energy crisis. I was the rolling blackout. My wife says I'm a poor excuse for a man. Before I was married, I was miserable. Now I'm miserably married. Anyway, you want to hear something really funny? This is really funny. Are you ready for this? You want to hear something really funny? Yeah. My wife thinks my penis is a joke. She refers to it as Little Pietro. We haven't seen Little Pietro in quite a while. Maybe Little Pietro will be coming out tonight. Little Pietro. Okay, that's about kind of it. If we have a minute or two, we could open up for questions or comments. However, I want to make one last comment. If Hillary had been elected president, I could have died and gone to heaven. But now I must stay and fight. Any questions?
Michael Gulachok and Little Petrie, everybody!